Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet of ours. The sun is out where I live right now, and spring is clearly here. Just the energy and the life and the breath of Mother Earth is with us. And we have an inside and an outside to us, and outside of us is very beautiful, and inside we are still here and grateful and finding a way to be with all that lives inside of us. And so one of the ways in the Embodied Life School that helps us in times of trouble, in times of needing some care with our thoughts, with our feelings. As we bring our hand, usually we start with our left hand. We bring our hand to our chest area, to our upper chest. And just by doing that, bringing the hand to the chest is an enormous shift. See if you can feel it. It's very different than putting your hand on your shoulder, isn't it? And there's, different from putting your hand on your head. Putting your hand on your chest. A chest. That's kind of the sense that comes if I exaggerate it. It's a little bow. It's a little sigh, kind of an inner sigh. We don't have to have the exaggerated gesture, but just placing our hand on our chest has a remarkable effect. Now there's so many reasons for it. We're not going to go into that too much. I'll write about it a little, but the hand is highly represented in the brain, more than most of the rest of your body. And this is our place of contacting the world, our feet and our hands. And so the amount of, we could say, brain neurons, sensory awareness in these fingertips, in the soft place of the hand. I like to call it the heart of the hand, and often think of it as a listening ear. So we can place this sensing hand, this highly innervated hand against our chest, and even with a scarf on and the sweater, I can sense the warmth. There's a temperature difference inside. There's a sense of weightedness of my hand, like that my hand is making an imprint. It's sensing what's under it. And there's a change of my whole personhood. I breathe differently. I have a sense of connecting my inside world with my outside world. I don't know if you could understand that, but it makes sense to me. And this is a practice we do in the Embodied Life School, and we often use the words hello in there. Hello in there. How are you? How are you doing today? Well, I'm a little tired, you might hear. Or I'm a little sad, or so excited to go outside. So we just be with that moment. And see, maybe the breath, maybe the chest wants to rise and meet it and greet it. And also know that with all the sensations in the hand, there's also neurons, millions of brain neurons in the chest around the heart itself. Different again than the shoulder or the elbow. Now let's add a little something to it that we don't do per se in the Embodied Life School, but I want to work with this a little bit this morning. I had an insight this morning about combining a lesson that we do in the Feldenkrais world and in the Embodied Life School that has a relationship to our hand, to consciousness, to neurology, to being able to go from a fight or flight, a sympathetic part of the nervous system where we're anxious, we're up in the body, to the parasympathetic nervous system, where we find more homeostasis, where the soul, the spirit, the physicality all work together. So it's like this. We're going to begin to, it's like petting a friendly animal, but we're going to bring the fingers together so it looks a bit like a bell. And in the Feldenkrais world, it's called the lesson of the bell hand. And we begin it right here when the hand is on the floor. We lift up. Here's a flat surface. We lift up. And through the lifting up, the fingers are drawn together, not like a fist, but they can actually touch each other and make the form of a bell-like structure. And then they can also return, spread out, be lifted up again, and come back to the fingers lightly touching each other. Now, why is it so important that the fingers are touching each other? Well, I think you'll see if you do it. So let's bring that hand to the chest again. And feel how our breath likes that. And begin to do that drawing up with the wrist. Then the fingers begin to come and then back again. And just feel how that, and even if we don't lift up, we could spread them out, we can lift them up. We can spread them out lightly, gently. You can see how there becomes a kind of harmony, a kind of rhythm that is just so compelling. We've included a rhythm, we've included this sensation of all this meeting each other. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing with either hand. Now I'd like to just add a something what we've been working with. We've been working so much with breathing during this time of the coronavirus, which affects the lungs, and the temperature of the body as well as a first and biggest front line. So if we come over here to just having our hand raised, you might feel already just at doing that small thing that your whole tone of the body has changed. This is not a small thing. This is a very big, important, health-giving thing. Emotionally, physically, neurologically, in every way. To find a home place. So we can use the sensing and listening through the fingertip, coming around with our breath. So we can come here and breathe in, come to the top of the breath, we pause, breathing out, we exhale down. And the whole time when we breathe in, we go up, pause at the top, And we exhale, we pause in the valley. And now that you understand the up is the inhale, the pause is the tip, the down is the exhale, the pause is the valley. Please begin to, you can do this mechanically and it's wonderful. It's not a problem whatsoever. And when we start again, if I put most of my attention as I get easier with breathing and I know where I'm going, and I just begin to, at the pause at the top, I'm going to kind of rub the thumb and the index finger together. And that means a lot to your brain, believe it or not. It's almost as important as hand to mouth. So think that through the beginning of life, hand to mouth, how absolutely primal that is. So breathing in, pausing and sensing, breathing out, resting, breathing in, pausing, sensing, listening, breathing out, resting. Pause and listen to the reverberation, the movements within the movement. Sense the one hand and the other hand. I think these are wonderful tools for your day, your week, your life, and I appreciate this time we have together. Either hand, both hands, all is good. Take good care.